Hope you're all well. So I've decided to start doing a series of videos on menopause. So obviously going through the whole thing at the moment, and I thought to document my journey, and it's a bit late in the whole process, to be honest, but I think in the years that I've been going through it, I've discovered that not many people talk about it. It's a little taboo. I don't know why people seem very uncomfortable about talking about what goes on, and so it's been a lonely process for me. And I thought, well, why not just stop it right there and let people know what my, sort of journey's been like, and hopefully through this, other people share their journey and can help each other through it as well, because it can be a very lonely and distressing thing. You go through your life, you're a teenager, then you're a young adult, meet someone, do whatever, either start a family or not, whatever. All's looking really good. You're in your 30s, things are looking up, and then all of a sudden things start changing in your 40s, or at least that's been my experience. So let me take you back. I am 47 right now, living in the UK. I've got two teenage daughters, one aged 16 and one aged 18. Been married today 20 years. And the journey has been quite a wonky one, and not one that I was aware of. So I'm going to do a whole lot of different videos and discuss various things in them. But today's video is basically just to tell you about the start of the process. So when I turned 41, living in South Africa at the time, I started experiencing some really weird symptoms. I was feeling, sore and achy. I wasn't sleeping very well. I haven't ever been a great sleeper, but it was exceptionally difficult at that stage. I had hot flashes. I was just uncomfortable and moody and irritable, and there was massive brain fog, memory loss. It was really strange. I thought something was up, so I went to the GP. At the time, 41-year-old sitting in front of a doctor, first thing he said to me was, oh, you might still be pregnant. And I'm like, don't think so. Husband's been sorted, so there's no chance of that. So let's do some blood work, is what he said, which we did. Blood work came back, and I was expecting from the conversation I had with the doctor that it might be perimenopause, which is obviously the start of the whole process going into menopause. And so that's what I was expecting the conversation to go around. But in fact, he told me that I was in full-blown menopause, which at age 41 is quite unusual. So this particular video, what I'd like to highlight is that it is important for you to know your family's history on menopause, specifically your mom and how she has experienced it. So I would say have those conversations when you're in your 40s, speaking to your mother and her siblings and seeing what their process looks like or looked like. I then discovered that my mom had also gone into early menopause, and so had one of my aunts, and it clearly was just a family thing. And that obviously helped me to understand that, it does happen to people really early on. It was quite of a shock to the system because, things obviously start changing quite dramatically. And I don't feel like in your 40s, in your early 40s, you're quite ready for that. So it was really scary, and I really didn't have anyone to speak to. None of my friends were going through it. And it was just a really lonely place to be. So first video was basically to introduce myself, let you know, what my process is so far. I am now 47, like I said, started at 41. And my advice to you right in the beginning is when you start feeling all these strange symptoms is, speak to your family, find out what their history is, start, becoming aware and prepared, do some reading on things, know when to spot the things that are causing problems. Speak to your doctor. I would advise to speak to either a gynecologist or your GP, and just have that conversation, possibly do the blood work and just see where you're at with the hormones. Next video I'll tell you a little bit more about my process, but thank you very much for listening, and hope to chat to you soon.